Alright, is there going to be a real estate bubble that's going to happen in 2021? I mean, let's face it, we have seen real estate prices skyrocketed in 2020 despite of everything that's going on, and we're still seeing low inventory today more than ever before. So what's going to happen to the real estate market in 2021? Many of us have either experienced firsthand as a first-time home buyer or have heard of friends or family members or those that are trying to buy a home that are telling us, you know what, we're trying to buy a house, there's multiple offers, there's bidding wars on the same house, people are offering to waive their home inspection, taking the house as is, waiving their appraisal, bringing in more down payment, and for some cases giving the seller their firstborn child as a closing gift. Is this all true? With all of this happening in the real estate market, some people may be wondering, is there a real estate bubble that's happening in 2021 or just within the horizon? Maybe we're going to see a repeat of what happened in 2008. And I mean, let's face it, here in King County, the median price point has almost double and a half of what it used to be. Despite all that has happened in 2020, home prices has continued to increase here in King County and surrounding areas and much of this country throughout the whole year. And we're thinking to ourselves, I mean really, home prices has more than doubled here in the King County area since the bottom of the market back in early 2012. Factor number one, homeowners right now actually have equity in their house. Here's the thing, in 2007, right before the market was about to crash, the median price point of a home here in King County was about $450,000. Then the market dropped to the median price of $308,000, and as of this summer, it went above $750,000 for the median price point here in the county. So what does that mean? It means that someone that purchased their home just a couple years ago, realistically, that homeowner has equity in their home so that they're able to sell in today's market if they needed to and still be able to have cash in their pocket at the end of the day. So in given case where the homeowners does decide to sell their home in 2021 because you know what, maybe they're going through financial hardship or what happened in 2020, realistically, a real estate crash is something that goes down 20% or more within a given year. And so if a homeowner has purchased this house a couple years earlier, maybe now he has 50% of equity in the house, even with a real estate correction of going down 20%, they could essentially sell the home and still be able to have cash in their hand at the time of the sale. This was not the case back in the previous market crash in 2008, because most homeowners back then that were facing trouble was because either the house was going upside down, belly up, or basically homeowners owed the bank more than what the home was worth during that time. Some homeowners back then found themselves in this situation where they might have purchased this home previously for $500,000 a couple years before. Now they're trying to sell the home, but the market corrected itself 20% under, and now the home's only worth $400,000. And we remember looking at some of their loans where they initially bought the home for $500,000 and now somehow owing $520,000, which is owing more than what they purchased the home for. You're probably wondering, wait, how did that even happen? That's a great question, which leads me to factor number two. Factor number two is the strict guidelines that mortgage banks had this past decades on giving out home loans. One of the fundamental keys to the last market crash was the horrible loans that were given to homeowners back then. One of them in particular happened to be what was called the neg-am or negative amortization loan to home borrowers. Well, what happened was a home buyer may purchase this home for $500,000 and get a loan for $500,000 and then essentially owing the bank $550,000 a few years down the road. Essentially, some homeowners ended up owing more on their home loan than what the home was worth, and the loan kept increasing over time. So for instance, back in 2006, if there was an $800,000 house that my family and I really wanted to purchase, and then we're looking at the mortgage payment and it's $3,500 a month and we're wondering, can we afford this? Well, the banker might say this. Well, Colin, since you can't afford the $3,500 a month and you're more comfortable with, maybe less, we have this special type of loan where you could make partial payment and still be able to move you and your family to the home of your dreams. Wouldn't you want that? Well, I guess why wouldn't you, right? Well, sure, of course. Let's say your mortgage payment was $3,500, Colin, for you and your family, and you're comfortable, like you said, with $1,500 a month, right? Yeah, I am, yeah. Well, we can make that work. You could pay us $1,500, and the $2,000 that you would have owed us, we'll just tack it on the back of the loan and make it happen for you and your family. Does that sound good? Well, yeah, sure. The only challenge to that is if you keep adding the debt to the original loan amount, you end up probably never paying this house off, and you can see why your debt in the rear keeps adding up year after year. As a result of all that, many homeowners found themselves owing more to the bank than what the home was worth. And after the last market crash correction in 2008, the bank got a lot smarter, and many of them got rid of all those loans to make sure that people are qualified when they come to buy a house. Today, you have to show the bank that your real income can justify buying the home. The bank will look at all your debts combined, such as your credit card, your car payment, your student loans, combine that with a new mortgage payment all together, then you could qualify for the home. And they will make sure that, hey, if you're buying that house, it's going to be around 45% or under of your gross income. So put it another way, you almost have to make twice as much as all your debt combined to be safe to purchase a home. And that's the eyes of the bank, just to make sure, oh man, we don't want to go back to that 2008 gloomy days. So we gotta make sure people could qualify and really be able to afford this home. Factor number 3 is actually the strong employment and tech presence that we have here in our local area. We have some of the biggest tech and S&P 500 companies here in our local backyard. Like we got Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Boeing, Starbucks, Costco, just to name a few. And I could hear some people in the background saying, well, I'm not in tech or work for any of those companies, so how does it even benefit me and my family? Here's the thing, in the big picture of things, it's a domino effect. Someone that's working for Microsoft or Amazon or one of the other companies that we mentioned, well, they'll go out and they could spend on the local grocery store that's owned by mom and pops. They could spend at the family-owned restaurant, the local electrician who's been there for 30 years, and all providing jobs for them to continue their way of life. To sum it all up, in 2021, most likely we're gonna see a still strong demand for homes out there in the marketplace with these historic low interest rate and low inventory of homes available for buyers to choose from, which will create a potential increase in home prices in 2021. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope you and your family have an amazing start to 2021. If there's other questions that you may have in regards to buying, selling, or just thinking something about real estate, please feel free to reach out to us, comment below, press like if you love this video. We appreciate your support. Have a phenomenal start to 2021. Take care, everybody.